To unbox your Allegro 2 and assemble it, you'll need a wrench, which comes with your reformer, and something sharp to open the package. Hi, my name is Kayleen, and I'm the Pilates mechanic here in the BB Garage.
And I'm Ken Endelman. I'm the assistant to the Pilates mechanic here at the BB Garage.
Today, we're going to show you how to unbox and assemble an Allegro 2 reformer. The first thing we're going to do is take it apart, take it out of the box,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then put it together. And then we'll give you a few tips on how to use all the really cool mechanisms at the end.
Nice.
All right, so we got to get this box out of the way. What are our safety tips?
First thing is, we want to make sure we don't get any radical paper cuts.
Yeah.
So when we're pulling the box apart, we don't want to slide our hands on the cardboard. And we also don't want to get any punctures from the staples. So we want to be really careful to look for staples, feel for paper cuts, avoid those things because they're nasty, they're painful, and you don't want them.
Yep. All right, I'll take this end.
You take that side?
That end.
You're going to the front or the back?
I'll do the front.
Okay, ready? Okay. Oh. You're going to need a knife.
Yes.
And
sharp tool.
And since I don't see a knife. Got it. Okay. Perfect. All right. We'll cut this.
Yep.
I'm just going to cut it right at the edge here so I know I'm not anywhere near the machine so that we can be sure not to do any damage to that part, okay?
Yep. Always careful with those sharp edges.
This safety razor is actually too safety. Yes.
There we go.
All right.
Okay. We are actually going to take the reformer out of the box and put it on the floor. But you could also do this leaving the reformer in the box and just breaking down the corners so they're out of the way. It is nice to have a little bit of height under these feet to install the foot bar. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to do this tape over here real quick.
We also have the luxury of working on a really soft floor right here, so we can actually work anywhere.
Yes.
If we were on a hard floor, we'd want to make sure we've got a carpet underneath or cardboard underneath or something to protect the machine.
Yes. Yep, protect the machine and protect the floor. All right. Put that on top of there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
I've got the heavy end, so
You're welcome.
you keep it stable, I'll lift it up. You ready?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Not on my toes.
Yeah, not on your toes.
Yes.
So we need to make sure that there's nothing hiding in this box here. So I know for a fact we've got our foot bar in one of these boxes, but we've also got some other stuff. So before you throw this stuff away, be sure you check everything and make sure there's no parts in it. All right.
Anything else in here? I think we're good.
All right, I'm going to save 2 of these. There we go.
Good?
Yep, we're good.
All right.
All right. Ken, let's scoot the reformer up just a little bit. How about that?
Okay. Ready?
Yep. Okay. So right before we put the foot bar on, we need to remove some pieces from under the carriage, right?
Yep.
You want to hold the reformer
Yeah, how about
on
I
its
tip
side?
it this way and we can see what's underneath there, okay?
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
Okay. What do we got
Okay.
there?
So we've got a bungee cord here, and the bungee cord is for shipping purposes. So we can take it off and we don't need it anymore. And we've got one other thing, well, 4 other things, right? So you'll see that there is black tape wrapping around the frame. We need to remove this tape, and you'll also see that under the tape there's these little plastic spacers, and we need to take those out. So Ken, why are these spacers here?
They're here because when we ship these, we don't want the machines, we don't want a huge amount of weight on the carriage for long periods of time while they're being shipped, because it's possible that you get a flat spot on the wheel. So we just put the spacers in there to kind of lift the carriage up off the wheel, remove all that stuff, and there's no weight, and then there's no bump.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Keeping the wheels round.
Keeping the wheels round. The other thing that's kind of interesting, though, is that even with the wheels, sometimes when they do get flat, that usually goes away anyway.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
All right.
All right. So we're going to install the foot bar next.
Okay.
And it's really helpful to prop the 2 legs on the foot end up. And we're going to use this foam that we saved from the packaging to do that. And that just helps us fit the foot bar under the frame when it's right side up again.
Where should we put this?
So let's actually put this back down flat,
Okay.
and then I'll lift and you can slide those under.
All right, got it. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
All right.
All right, so one of those is going to go under each leg. Get my feet out of the
Okay.
way. There we go. All right, and let's get the foot bar out of
Okay.
the box.
Let's put that down.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Before we continue, we also need some hardware, right? Foot
Right.
bar hardware. So that's probably in this little box here.
I think so. If not, we'll find out what's in this
We'll
box.
find out.
Yes. Should we go over what's in this box?
We've got a few things in that box. We'll just mention them when you pull them out, I think.
Okay. First one,
Shoulder rests.
shoulder rest.
Awesome.
We'll
I'll
put these
take
here.
those.
You'll take those.
Put them up here.
We have
Loops.
loops. Okay.
Loops.
We have,
Hey, foot bar hardware.
oh, okay.
That's what we're looking for.
All right. And then we have
A
CE
manual.
all
Yep.
this stuff. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
So we need a bolt, a square washer, and a round washer
Bolt.
for each side of the foot bar. So
All right.
2 sides. And then we'll also need a wrench. And there will be some other gray things in there, and those are for the springs, and we'll get to those in a second.
Okay. Got it.
All right. So to get your foot bar in the frame, you'll notice that we can't just drop it down overhead. So we're going to do a little creative maneuvering. Before we maneuver, I want you to make sure that your foot bar is aligned so that this curved edge here is facing backwards, okay? Then we can lay the foot bar flat, and notice I'm crooked here, okay? So I'm gonna go crooked in, and then I can swing the foot bar around so now it's underneath.
I noticed you went way out of your way to make sure that the base of the foot bar didn't scratch the Reformer frame.
Yep, it's a heavy foot bar, maybe some sharp or blunt edges that might scratch, so I'm just letting it slide on the floor, okay?
Got it.
All right, so now this is where 2 people might be really helpful, okay? We're going to lift the foot bar up vertically, and it needs to fit kind of within the frame here. And then we're gonna bring it up to where our black tape is. Yes. So inside the frame here is the trunnion, the foot bar slider, and we're going to rest the foot bar on the trunnion. Okay? Do you want to do the honors, or should I hold it and you do the bolts?
We'll see what happens. Let me explain one thing first here.
Sure, sure.
That trunnion that this goes on, it looks kind of like a half of an arc, and it's got fingers in it, and there's a little pin here on the top of this, and that pin fits inside these teeth. And we want to go to the very top one, right? And that's what we're aiming for. Well, we can't see it, but that's what we're shooting for.
You'll know because if you put it in the wrong one and then you swing the foot bar angle, the slot won't line up with where you need to insert the bolts. So we'll know pretty quick if you're in the right slot.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
Also, you reminded me of one other thing. We need to make sure that the tabs, the indicator tabs of the trunnion, are on the same spot on both sides. They probably are. You saw that the bungee cord was directly across here. Okay, but you're going to see that this little tab here lines up with one of these round indentations. Make sure that it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th indentation on the other side as well. 2, 3, 4, 5. One of them is covered up over here, and 6. All right.
Okay.
Here we go.
Got it?
I think so. Now, as I slide, I'm keeping it vertical.
Oh, wait, we've got to take out the little pin here that was
Oh, good catch, Ken.
Okay.
We're just
There
going
it
to let
is.
that pin hang.
Now it's in, and it's going to go out. Okay, got
Okay,
it.
let me do the same thing on the other side.
All right.
Okay. Oh, I'm a little crooked. Back up just a little bit.
Okay.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
We're resting on something.
We are cruising. Yeah, we're
Are
in
we
our
good?
notch. We're over our tape.
Okay.
Yep, we're good. I see it, and we're ready to install.
All right. So I'm going to hold the foot bar, and Ken is going to finger tighten
Okay.
the bolt. And this bolt, it's very important to finger tighten it basically all the way and not to force it. It should glide in, but it's a little bit hard to start. So you may need to have some patience, right? Lots of patience.
And there's 3 parts here, right?
Yeah.
There's a bronze washer,
So
right?
it's
Goes
that
on
round
first.
thing.
There's this square nut, right? And it all goes in there. And this square nut, and you'll see it probably in a close-up that we're
Yep.
going to do, slides back and forth in this big slot, which is hard to see because it's right on the back side of this guy right here.
Yep.
Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm looking for that slot to line up right over that threaded hole, right?
Yep. So if I need to move the foot bar a little bit, let me know.
Yeah. So I'm going to bring this thing in, and I'm going to bring the head of the bolt into that slot, and then I'm going to find the hole in the slot. There we go. And I put the head of the bolt in the hole, and everything's lining up. It's great.
Great.
And I'm going to tighten this thing up, and hopefully Mr. Cameraman can get a good shot here of me tightening this thing up with 2 fingers. Is it working?
Yeah.
Smile at the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really important what Ken is doing is he's not using a bunch of force here. He's not having to twist really hard. If you have to do that, then something's probably wrong. It should
Yeah.
go in pretty smoothly.
Yeah, just with your fingers.
Yep.
It goes all the way in there. It
Yep.
stops. Give us a little bit of jiggle,
Okay.
and then we'll take.
We'll use a wrench to tighten it, but I'm going to do the other side
Okay.
before we use the
and
wrench.
then we'll tighten it.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll just hold this while you're doing that, and tell me if you want me to jiggle it.
Oh. I think I'm all. This went in like butter.
Nice.
Okay, so I'm finger tight over here. I'm going to
Okay.
give Ken the wrench. He's going to use the straight end.
Yep. To start, notice there's 2 weird angles to this guy. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to use a straight end, and I put it right on there. And then I'm going to push this down. We're going to tighten it by going clockwise.
Righty-tighty,
Okay.
clockwise.
Give us a
This is
good
the smart
turn,
way.
and it's in there good. Here you go.
How much pressure did you put on that when you tightened it, Ken?
You know, I pushed it down hard enough to where the wrench started to hurt my hand.
It's a good
the sharp
measure,
edge of the wrench.
right? So not
But
terribly hard.
No, I didn't kill it, and I certainly would not bonk it with a hammer or put anything on that wrench.
Yep.
It's just firm.
Secure.
Right, secure,
Firm.
right,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so our foot bar is now installed,
Mm-hmm.
and we can move it back to the foot end of the reformer. I'm going to do it really quickly, and we'll talk a little bit more about the positions of the foot bar at the end.
Got it.
Okay? Now, we've got a bunch of tape on the frame here, Ken. Let's get rid of the tape.
Let's get rid of the tape.
We're done with the foot bar. We're done with the spacers. We can get rid of all this tape.
Should we move the carriage back a little bit to get... Did you get yours out?
I almost did. There we go.
All right.
Had to move the foot bar for that, or the carriage. That's all right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's put the risers on. Riser. I think the risers are hiding off screen right there, actually. That, not the square box, but the rectangle box under the bag
This one.
on the left. I believe so.
You've got a lot of stuff here.
I know. That stays over there. Here we go. Thank you. These risers are awesome, and they're very easy to install. You're going to slide them in just like Ken did, and make sure that the holes are facing the carriage and they're not angled outward or inward. Okay. Now, how do you secure that, Ken?
So I was just thinking, maybe we should just tip it back so we can just show people what that knob looks like?
That's a great idea.
Yeah. You won't go too far, but just enough.
Okay.
So normally you don't, you just reach underneath here
you
to
can
tighten
just
it
reach
because it's
underneath, yep.
really simple.
Yep.
But let's just show people what it looks like, okay?
All right.
So tip it a little bit towards you. Doesn't have to go all the way over. Whoa,
There
okay.
you go.
Hopefully we'll get it, but you see these knobs here? You got it?
Yep, I got it.
So all you do is tighten these things up. And I'll get the other one, ready? But you can do this just as easy when it's upright.
Yep.
But we just want people to see what it looks like. Okay,
Very good.
got it?
I'm actually going to take this
All right.
packing material out from over here. There we go.
All right.
Okay, so now you're probably wondering, what the heck is this big old box here? It's really light.
All right.
It's just got ropes in it. Where'd that knife go? Here it is. So, Ken, do you know why they do this with the ropes?
Yeah, I do, as a matter of fact. Funny you should ask. You know, the ropes are on retractors, they can't retract too much, and so we need to ship the ropes with a little bit of extension out there, and this keeps everything protected and keeps the thing from going ka-fa, 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 and
Yep.
you let go.
Yep. And it's probably, this box is probably a good spacer in the big box.
Good packaging.
We've also got another thing hidden in here. This is a pad for your standing platform.
And that's just
A little bit of cushion.
included these days now, right? They just
Yeah.
added that in. Okay.
Yep. All right, so our ropes are too short right now, okay? So I'm gonna have Ken hang on to that end, and I'm going to pull the rope lever so that he can pull the ropes out.
So I won't
Okay.
let go, right?
Don't let go.
Okay.
All right, that's probably
Okay.
good.
All right.
Now, he's going to use these little thin ropes on the end of the thicker ropes to thread it through from underneath the pulley to overhead. Oh, and
Right.
there the little thin rope comes out. Now
It's a
we can
little
use
nest
that to
tail.
guide the rope through. Wonderful.
That's one. And here's number 2. And there's
So now we've got these through the risers and the pulleys. We don't need these thin ropes anymore, so I'm just gonna pull these off here. Ken, are you grabbing those loops?
funny you should ask.
Hey, we're on the same page today.
All right. Maybe you can show us how these things go on.
Sure, I would be happy to. So this is a soft touch connection. It's really awesome because nothing metal bangs around here. But it's going to need a little bit of loop talk here. So I'm going to take the rope, stick it through the rope loop that's on the loop, okay? And then I take the whole strap and put it through the rope loop, and now I can pull it tight, okay? I'm going to do that one more time in case you didn't see, okay? Rope goes through the loop, and then the rope goes over the loop, and we pull it tight. All right.
Cake.
Easy peasy. Our shoulder rests are just going to slide right in. Okay. Now, I could probably put them on the other way, Ken. Why is this?
If you look at the pins on the bottom of those shoulder rests, they're offset,
Yep.
right? And so if you put them in one way, so like with the pins,
Right.
with the offset on the biggest side of the pin, then they're farther apart.
Mm-hmm.
And for a more normal sized person, you want to rotate them.
Yep. So I'm
So-
just going to lift a little bit and rotate and then seat it back down. Do the same thing on both sides, and now I have made them narrower. And if I wanted to widen them, I'd do the same thing.
Right. And it's about 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch difference, smaller.
Awesome. That's such a great feature.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have to install the spring collars,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can talk about tips in using the reformer.
Okay.
Okay?
Let's
So we saw the spring collars in this other bag over here. And these go on the neck of the spring to give you somewhere to grip when you're putting springs on the hooks. Okay? All right, so we're going to install this. We need to unhook a spring. Okay? And then your collar, whew, butterfingers, is going to go on with the flat, the bigger diameter flat part towards the hook. Okay, so I'm going to slide it on like this. And then once it's all the way on, I can twist it and then pull it to seat it on the round hook. Okay, so I'll do that for all the rest of the springs.
You know what I might do, just to make things really easy? Just for the
Thanks.
benefit of our camera guy,
Thank you.
who is Scott, by the way. What are those for anyway?
These,
Yeah.
they give your fingers something to pull on.
To grab.
Yep. So if I was to adjust a spring, I would hold it just like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty handy. Yeah. All right, let's get the foot bar back here. All the pieces are installed. And I suppose it's now time to talk about how to use and adjust the Allegro 2 reformer. Yeah? So I want to start with the foot bar because it is super cool. And you've seen us moving it around and up and down the frame a little bit. And I want to stress that we've done this a lot, so it looks pretty easy, but the easiest way to do this is to always stand directly on the very end, and then have 2 hands wide on the foot bar. If you try and do one side, so if I'm pulling up here, nothing happens. Okay, so we have to pull equally on both sides. So to adjust the angle, I'm just going to lift up and then let the foot bar sort of be heavy, and it will find the next spot. Okay, so there's one spot. I can go down once more here, and then I can go all the way down to this position. So we've got a few positions there. We've also got the vertical position. Now, if you want to move the foot bar up and down the frame, we need to change the angle so it's actually facing the risers. So I'm going to lift up and angle it that way, and it should find a seat, and now it's going to move. Okay, so Ken, I've noticed, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, there are little indentations on the side of the frame. What are those for?
They're just there so that you can see which horizontal position the foot bar is in.
Yep, so you'll see there are several here at the very end, so you can adjust for the height of someone, right? And then we've got some more up the length of the frame if you want to get creative with some of your exercises. So this should slide pretty easily. Notice I'm pushing in the middle here. If I push on the side, it's not going to go very easily. So this could go all the way up. Now, Ken, you want to adjust it up there? Show them how to lock it into place?
Sure. It's kind of cool because if you get it near the position you want it in, like this is kind of close right here, if I just lift it up and then put it in here, I can roll it into locking position. So it's good.
Yep. And you always want to, when you think you have it in the right spot, give it a little push or a little wiggle to make sure it is seated.
Yeah, I saw you do it down there.
Yep.
I think that's always important.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's bring the foot bar back here.
Ready?
Yep. It's so fun. All right, so we talked about the shoulder rests. They're super easy. We've got 2 levers on the side of the headrest. Now, I showed how to use one to adjust the length of the ropes. Okay, so this lever over here, if I'm going to hold the ropes, whoops, Ken, you want to pull the lever? The ropes are going to retract. Okay, so if I want to make the ropes longer, Ken is going to pull the lever out, and then I can pull the ropes. So normally, if I'm teaching on an Allegro 2, I will have the ropes positioned around the shoulder rests, and then I will pull the lever, and they will be at the length and even. So that's one way to set the length. Lever's super awesome. Okay, what about this other lever over here? This one's kind of got a knob on it.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. We'll take this off. So we notice that for the straps, that lever just slides in and out, right?
Yes.
This lever slides forward and backwards, okay? And you can't, a lot of people look at this and they say, well, I don't see how you adjust the headrest, right? But you can, all right? So if you pull this out, this lifts up, and it's got actually 3 positions.
That is
okay?
great.
So again, pull it out, there's another position, and then there's down, and it locks in each position.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for both of these levers and knobs, make sure that you're pulling parallel to the floor this way and not pushing or pulling up and down, because you can bend the levers. They move in the horizontal plane. Okay. Ken, we already talked about the risers and the loops.
Risers, shoulders, headrest.
Foot bar.
We talked about the spring
collars. I think we're all done. We're ready for a session.
We are ready for a session. Are we going to talk
You
about
look pensive.
Well, I'm thinking about the foot strap for the box.
So the foot strap for the box is covered in a different video.
Okay.
Yes.
Got to know that. Okay,
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep, if you have a foot strap and you're like, what do I do? It's in another video. And
So stay tuned for that.
Yes, well, you can find those videos at pilates.com/bbgarage. There are a whole bunch of other videos. So if you have legs for this, or a tower, or you want to know how to put the wheel kit on or the foot strap, you'll find those videos at that address. All right? We good?
I think we're good.
All right. Thanks for coming. I'll see you next time.
See you next time.